In a world often characterized by blame shifting and finger pointing, the ability to accept responsibility for one's actions stands as a beacon of strength, maturity, and profound personal power. Today, we're going to take a dive into the transformative power inherent in taking radical responsibility. We'll examine the psychological underpinnings of why individuals often deflect blame. We'll also take just a moment to celebrate the liberation and growth that comes from owning our choices and their consequences. The tendency to lash out or blame others when confronted with our own mistakes is a deeply ingrained, albeit often unconscious, defense mechanism. It stems from a combination of psychological factors, primarily rooted in our desire to protect our ego and avoid feelings of vulnerability. Our ego, the part of us that identifies with a sense of self, is fiercely protective. Admitting fault can feel like a direct attack on this self-image, leading to feelings of shame, inadequacy, and even fear. Blaming others allows us to deflect this perceived threat and maintain a sense of self-esteem, however fragile. We are inherently social beings, acutely aware of how others perceive us. Admitting a mistake can trigger a fear of judgment, ridicule, or even social rejection. By shifting the blame, we attempt to control the narrative and present ourselves in a more favorable light, even if it means sacrificing the truth. Cognitive dissonance occurs when we hold conflicting beliefs or values. When our actions contradict our perceived ideal self, we experience mental discomfort. Blame shifting is a way to reduce this dissonance by rationalizing our behavior and attributing our failures to external factors. Some individuals lack the emotional regulation skills necessary to process difficult emotions such as shame, guilt, and regret. Blame shifting serves as a coping mechanism, allowing them to avoid confronting these uncomfortable feelings. The common thread weaving through these psychological explanations is the desire to avoid pain or even embarrassment. However, this avoidance strategy, while providing temporary relief, ultimately hinders personal growth and damages relationships. The capacity to accept responsibility for one's actions is not a sign of weakness, but rather a testament to inner strength, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. It requires courage to confront our flaws, acknowledge our mistakes, and resist the urge to deflect blame. This is the essence of radical responsibility, the conscious choice to own our actions and their consequences, regardless of the circumstances. Accepting responsibility reclaims our agency. When we acknowledge our role in a situation, we empower ourselves to take corrective action. Instead of feeling like victims of circumstance, we become active agents in shaping our own lives. Honesty and accountability are fundamental to building trust and respect in relationships. When we admit our mistakes, we demonstrate integrity and vulnerability, fostering deeper connections with others. Conversely, blame shifting erodes trust and creates distance. Mistakes are inevitable in life. By accepting responsibility, we create opportunities for learning and growth. We can analyze our actions, identify areas for improvement, and develop strategies to prevent similar errors in the future. Blame shifting, on the other hand, stifles learning and perpetuates negative patterns. Ironically, accepting responsibility can also lead to greater self-compassion. By acknowledging our imperfections and treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can break free from the cycle of self-criticism and shame. It is crucial to remember that we all possess the power to choose responsibility, to rise above the impulse to blame, and to embrace the opportunity for growth and self-improvement. This power resides within each of us, waiting to be awakened and cultivated. Take time to reflect on your actions and their impact on others. Ask yourself honest questions about your role in various situations and be willing to acknowledge your mistakes. Cultivate your emotional intelligence by learning to recognize and manage your emotions. When you feel the urge to lash out or blame others, take a moment to pause, breathe, and identify the underlying emotions driving your behavior. Try to see situations from the perspective of others. Consider their feelings and experiences and be willing to apologize for any harm you may have caused, even unintentionally. Instead of dwelling on who is to blame, shift your focus to finding solutions. Ask yourself what you can do to make amends, learn from the experience, and prevent similar mistakes in the future. Remember to forgive yourself as well. Holding on to guilt and shame will only hinder your progress. Practice self-forgiveness and allow yourself to move forward. Remember that everyone makes mistakes, and it is through these mistakes that we learn and grow. So, in case no one has told you lately, let me say that I'm so proud of you for demonstrating courage. Please know that you inspire others to embrace this liberating power of taking responsibility for their actions. There are not many like you out there. Please keep shining.